Hi everybody, me again with another deck tech. This one's actually my own this time, so sorry I'm not interviewing anybody like I did on my other ones. This is actually my own deck. I know, and I know it's freaking crappy Maelstrom Wanderer. For those of you that don't know, Maelstrom Wanderer is a douchebag. It's freaking mean and nasty and extremely menacing. He's one of those generals that you're damned if you do, damned if you don't. You counter him, I still get the cascade, you let it resolve, I get the cascade, and my stuff gets haste. If you kill it, it goes back to the command zone and I replay it. If he stays out, he's still pretty bad with the haste. Either way, you're damned if you do, damned if you don't. He's extremely fun, so I recommend that if you haven't tried him, give him a try. He's super fun. You can make it a ton of different ways. There's countless ways you can make him. My thoughts were just ways to push damage through. I got a little bit of theft and just general good red, green, and blue stuff. But that's my boy, Maelstrom Wanderer. Alright, I run 37 lands. Okay, that's, 38's my go-to number, but I find that, with my mana rocks, which I only run a few, but I run very particular amount and very particular ones, that I actually don't have too many mana problems. So 37 actually seems to work. My mana base isn't perfect, so bear with me. It does have some opportunity, but I don't have the money to go spend on those tundras and whatnot, so hey, it works for me. I haven't had any problems. I ain't gonna fix it if it ain't broke. Yeah, I mean. So I have 6 forest, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then I got 5 islands. I have more green sources than anything else, and then behind that I've got blue and then a smattering of red. So I need very minimal red sources. The most mana intensive card as far as I got that's red is Kiki Jiki, and I rarely ever get that. And then 4 mountains. Oops, 3, 4. Non-basics, I got City of Brass, Vivid Creek, Steam Vents, Vivid Grove, Shiv and Reef. Ew, white border. I know, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, guys, I'm sorry. Mana Confluence. Oops, pulled 2 there. Breeding Pool, Rootbound Crag, Stomping Ground, Command Tower, Carpulsum Forest, Black Border, just saying. Simic Growth Chamber. One area of opportunity I really want to look for is a Groll Turf. I know I had one, don't know where it went. Maybe I traded off, maybe I just freaking lost it, I don't know. It's somewhere, I need one, so that's an area of opportunity for me. Groll Turf. Firelit Thicket, a little mana fixer. Frontier, Bouviac, wah wee wee. Mosswort Bridge, excellent card. I frequently and easily get that 10 power to get the hideaway card. Super easy. Maelstrom Wanderer alone is 7 power. Basically, I need like one other creature. That's no problem at all. Mana curve's kind of higher, so I do hit big stuff. It's going to change the game, most likely. Vivid Crag. Is it Boiler Works? Cascade Bluffs. This Cascade Bluffs, I'm just going to point out, it is literally filthy. It's got like mud caked on it, little here, little there. I got this for free, okay? I got this for free, so I took it. But I don't know what the hell is on it. It's got like dirt or mud or something on it, but it was free. I'll take it. Reliquary Tower, Temple of the False God, Ancient Tomb. Ancient Tomb is one of those really mean cards. I don't have a whole lot of life gain sources in this. I don't really need it either. But last night I played some with Maelstrom Wanderer, and I played 2 games with him and I did really good both games, and the second game I played I just creamed them. There's nothing you can do about it. Took myself down to about 20 life with Ancient Tomb just because I used it so much. Had Garruk Wildspeaker on tapping, and paying 4 life for 4 mana a turn was starting to add up. Homeward Path. This is kind of an on the fence card for me. It's an excellent utility land, and you're always better safe than sorry when you got it. but I do have a few theft mechanics, so sometimes it may not be the most choice card for me. Fanny Shaman tutors up whatever you need for the situation. I run 28 creatures, so good amount of targets I can get, just whatever you need. Somebody decides to hinder or spell crumple or chaos warp, oblation, Maelstrom Wanderer, no big deal. I'm still going to get the cascade, but I'll just bring them out with Fanny Shaman or Birthing Pod. I have that also. Snapcaster Mage. This is another one of those cards that if I can use it, it's amazing. But if I hit it off a cascade, it might shoot me in the foot and be pretty much a 2-1 for 8 mana off Maelstrom Wanderer, which would be pretty shitty. A Wood Elves, little mana dork, kinda. Another Farhaven Elf, search me up a land, put into play, speed me up. Eternal Witness. Oracle of Moldiah. Oracle of Moldiah does work in any deck with green. Please go get one if you don't have one. Excuse me. Solemn Simulacrum. Acidic Slime. Kinky Jinky Mirror Breaker. I actually run a fair amount of legendary creatures, and I'd like to cut them down, but I kind of like the ones I got in there, so I think I'm going to keep them. I thought about cutting him, but I played a game and ended up using him in it, and he just reassured my confidence that Kiki Jiki deserves the spot. His 3 red mana symbols are a little intense, but whenever I've used him, it's always been off the cascade, so I haven't had to worry about it. I mean, I get enough mana fixing in there that it's probably not an issue, but 3 red mana symbols is kind of steep. Sirach Dragonclaw. He is a very awesome choice for this deck, for multiple reasons. For 5 mana, he's a 6/6 with flash, so end of somebody's turn I can doink him in, no problem. He's big. He's also got trample. He gives other creatures trample. So he's going to help me push damage through with Maelstrom Wanderer. Even if I hit him off a cascade, he's going to get haste, and he's giving everything trample. So he's excellent. But if I do play him before Maelstrom Wanderer, if I feel the need to be safe and cautious around, mono blue decks or something with counters, I can flash him in, he can't be countered, and my Maelstrom Wanderer or other creatures can't be countered. So he's an excellent card for multiple reasons. Prophet of Crufix. Basically better than sex. Mindclaw Shaman. In a format like Commander, you choose the right guy. You gotta be, wise about who you choose for the target. He's gonna hammer something good out of somebody's hand. Especially with Kiki Jiki. I've done that last night. It's pretty baller. Mole Drifter, another good early game creature with that evoke. Even if I hit him off Maelstrom Wanderer, it's not a complete and total botch like an empty graveyard with Snapcaster Mage. I'll at least draw 2 cards and have a 2/2 flyer. Jace's Mindseeker. This is another one of those fun cards just like Mindclaw Shaman. You choose the right guy and you'll rip something good from him. Deadeye Navigator, good with the previously mentioned cards. I'm not a Deadeye Navigator fan, but I thought that out of respect for Deadeye Navigator, he should probably have a slot in the deck. Frost Titan, look at that. It's like some synergy right there. What is this bullshit? Frost Titan does have a lot of targets he can use. I'm sorry, Deadeye Navigator. Frost Titan is slowly becoming one of my new favorite cards. Even though he's not really new, he's been out for freaking forever. I just never really used him before I made this, and now that I made this, it won me a game against Nick's Kiki Jiki deck alone, and if I wouldn't have pulled him off of a cascade, I think Nick would have probably reamed me to death with Kiki Jiki. I tapped down Kiki Jiki, got haste, I just kept it tapped down, and because that little bit of battlefield shifting allowed me to come out victorious. So it's very fortunate for me to top deck that. Thunderfoot Baloth. That's another Sirach Dragonclaw style card. The mana cost 6, works with Maelstrom Wanderer. He himself is a 5/5 trample, so he's a big guy. And the Lieutenant ability is where it's at. This is probably the strongest one out of that series of cards with that ability. He gets 2/2, and gives all your other creatures +2/+2 and trample. Good lord, this would be ridiculous. Because Maelstrom Wanderer, Cascade, oh, I hit it because it's under 8, 7 or less. He gets haste because of Maelstrom Wanderer. He gives everything else 2/2 and trample. He ends games quickly. Prime Speaker Zagana. Now this, just like I was saying about Snapcaster Mage, can also shoot me in the foot and be pretty much a dud, almost. A near dud. Because, off a Cascade ideally, Maelstrom Wanderer hasn't hit play yet because the Cascade triggers trigger first. So if I trigger Prime Speaker Zagana, I don't have anything else out. I'm only going to draw 1 or 2 cards. So hopefully I either A, have something else out, or B, I have something else out. I like Prime Speaker Zagana. Anytime I've used her, I've always reloaded my hand at least like 8 cards, so I have no regrets with her. Progenitor Mimic, it's another one of those just useful, pesky cards. It's fantastic. Wormcoil Engine, one of the few ways I can gain life in this deck. He's pretty solid. I mean, you can't get around a good Wormcoil every once in a while. Inferno Titan, he's another one of those Titans. He's just good off the Cascade. He's just a good guy. Archetype of Imagination. When I built this deck, I wanted, not the take extra turns style. I wanted to push damage through style. Archetype of Imagination is pretty much the epitome of pushing through damage. He nearly makes all your stuff unblockable because all your stuff gets flying and all your creatures lose flying and can't have or gain flying. Basically, you cascade into that, you're probably going to kill somebody. Or at least deal like half their life total worth of damage. Intet the Dreamer. He's somewhat of a weaker card in this deck, but he's kind of flavorful for the deck with Maelstrom Wanderer. Helps play things for free. And he's also that red, green, and blue color. He's a big body, 6 mana, 6/6 flyer. I thought, hey, what the hell? I'm just going to let him be. Probably more optimal cards, but I let him be. Avenger of Zendikar. No explanation needed, pretty much ends games. Diluvian Primordial. Again, he's one of those cards that if I play him in the wrong situation, I'm not going to get anything. He plucks a instant or sorcery out of each opponent's graveyard, and I cascaded into him last night with another big creature, and I think I hit a Brainstorm, that's it, so it was pretty crappy. But, in the right situation, you can probably do some crazy cool stuff. Sphinx of Uthun, he is just, ridiculously useful. I mean, if you run blue, why not throw him in there? 7 mana, so he's good on that mana cost with Maelstrom Wanderer. 5/6 body, he's a big creature, can handle his own, deal some damage, and he reloads your hand a little bit. I mean, he's a good creature. Siege Behemoth. This is probably my second favorite creature out of that series of products, right behind the Thunderfoot Baloth, because he's 7 mana cost, so he's good with Maelstrom Wanderer. 7/4, so he's high power creature. Hexproof. That's also to note. That came in very frequently handy last night. I cascaded into him. He gets haste with Maelstrom Wanderer. All my stuff can assign its combat damage as though it weren't blocked, as long as he's attacking with them. He's pretty much pushing that damage through. When I got him out, it was pretty much like 50 damage divided amongst everybody, and people were dropping. Molten Primordial. He doesn't get enough attention in EDH. I really believe that. He's like a miniature Insurrection. 7 mana cost for a 6/4 with haste, so he's good on that mana cost. Cascade into that, bruh. Steal a creature for each opponent. Again, circumstantially, he can pretty much be a dud, or he can be something really awesome. That's the fun, right? So that's my creatures, 28 creatures. Now I'm getting into my mana rocks and whatnot. So, I only have a couple mana rocks, and I chose these very carefully. I chose them so I can make sure I'm on and ahead of my curve. So, bear with me. Soul Ring pretty much deserves a spot in any EDH deck. Thran Dynamo. Note the cost and what it does. Turn 4, play my 4th land, play Thran Dynamo. Turn 5, play a land, boom. Maelstrom Wanderer, turn 5. And that's just if I simply play a land every turn. So that's excellent for my curve. Gilded Lotus, again, I miss a land drop and play that turn 5, turn 6, miss a land drop. I'm guaranteed my commander for 8 mana. Cultivate, help me mana fix. Kodama's Reach, help me mana fix and accelerate. Ranger's Path, I chose Ranger's Path versus having, what's the other dumb thing? Oh, Explosive Vegetation, because it allows me to tutor up forests. Most of the time I'm just tutoring up Stomping Grounds and Breeding Poo. So that's my little acceleration pile. Now my removal, I have Beast Within. It hits permanents, so it's very wide range of targets. Chaos Warp also hits permanents, wide range of targets. Tucks Generals, tucks Gods. Helps me deal with problematic things. Crystal Shard. This works well with my General. Put him back in my hand, cast him again next turn. I had Prophet of Krufix out last night and I was literally casting my guy, Maelstrom Wanderer, twice a turn. And on other people's turns, just to be fun. But I've also had this card used against me ridiculously this past Saturday. I was playing with Justin at his house and some other guys, and I was getting caught. I was getting caught with all my mana tapped out, and another guy had Crystal Shard out, and he was just freaking hammering me with this stupid card. Erratic Portal is pretty much another Crystal Shard. I don't really think I need both of them in the deck, so I could probably swap that out for something better. Navinral's Disc, a little bit of removal now. I chose this because it's got a wide variety of targets it hits. Now, I don't have Oblivion Stone. That would probably be another excellent include, or probably a more optimal one. But it was just my choice. I just chose to go with this. I only have one O-Stone. I have a ton of Navinral's Discs. O-Stone's currently in another deck. Cyclonic Rift. Just like Snapcaster, Diluvian Primordial, and all those other ones that are very circumstantial. If I cascade into him, it's going to screw me. But if I get it, it's probably going to win me a game. Overload, man, it's the way Izzet was made to be played. Now my draw stuff. I have a few cards in here to allow me to set up for a Maelstrom Wanderer. If I play Ponder beforehand, I can manipulate my top deck to make sure I'm hitting something good, or shuffling away the junk. Brainstorm. This is probably one of the better cards in the deck for that, because it allows me to put the big crap from my hand on top of my deck. So that way I can run into it with Maelstrom Wanderer. Foresee. Scry 4. That's basically rearrange the top 4 Maelstrom Wanderer targets, then draw 2 cards. So basically with that, you're going to have some crap on the top most of the time. Draw the crap, scry it away. If you don't like it, get what you need, nothing you don't. Greater Good. This card is so freaking awesome with Maelstrom Wanderer. I sack Maelstrom Wanderer to him, cascade it again, cast it again next turn, cascade away. Reload my hand, 7 cards, discard 3. Freaking amazing. Powerhouse. It's unfortunately a white border, I'm sorry. Hey, I'm poor, it's cheap, whatever. Urban Evolution. I was a little unsure about this guy, but that extra land drop and extra 3 cards for 5 mana, whatevs. I'll run it. I liked it. Scroll Rack. This guy pays dividends like you wouldn't believe. This guy will single-handedly manipulate you a victory if somebody doesn't destroy it. Somebody needs to Vandal Blast this thing as soon as it hits the table, or else you're going to put all them good Maelstrom Wanderer targets right where you need them, right when you want them. Since he's Divining Top, it's pretty much the same thing as Scroll Rack and the Brainstorm and all those other things that allow me to manipulate my top deck, allowing me to put Maelstrom Wanderer targets right where I want them. See the Unwritten. I put this in there just for fun. Whenever I've used it, again, if I hit it on Cascade, Maelstrom Wanderer isn't in play yet, so it can be very circumstantial. I have not had any of these circumstance problems that I'm telling you about, but I'm just saying it's a possibility. I've used it a couple times, and it's actually been off Cascade both times, and I've had the Ferocious trigger, so it's boom, look at 8 top 8 cards, put 2 big ass creatures into play. They get haste. Maelstrom Wanderer. Boom, done. Now, I don't have Tooth and Nail in here. I do have Tooth and Nail. I'm not currently using Tooth and Nail. So I think I may do some rearranging, some fudging around, and probably put Tooth and Nail in. Birthing Pod, tutors up creatures. Garruk, Wildspeaker. I run 2 Planeswalkers. Garruk, Wildspeaker, Garruk, Primal Hunter. Wildspeaker allows me to untap lands. Gives my stuff trample. I mean, that's pretty much the only 2 uses I use from him. Garruk, Primal Hunter. I literally just use him to reload my hand. Maelstrom Wanderer's out. Boom. There's 7 cards for -3 loyalty counters. He's not even dead yet. He's got... Well, I guess it would kill him, duh. I don't know what I was thinking. Thinking of something else, obviously. But, you know, if I hit him off Maelstrom Wanderer resolves, I hit him off the Cascade, kill him, draw 7 cards. That's fair. Absolutely fair. Ew, another white border card. Bribery. Some of my theft cards. Bribery, I chose that because it's a strong card in and of itself. But Maelstrom Wanderer gives my stuff haste, so when I steal your creature, it doesn't get summoning sickness, so I can swing with it right away. So all you people that run Blightsteel Colossus, better watch out. Better not cry. Blightsteel Colossus is coming to town. Akroma's Memorial. I like this include. I haven't hit it yet, haven't used it yet, so I haven't seen the effects. But again, it's just like Bribery. It's one of those solid ass cards. It's going to end games all by itself. Maelstrom Wanderer, it's at 7 mana cost, so it's going to get cascaded into. He's going to make sure damage goes through, give myself a little bit of protection. He's going to hammer people. Rite of Replication, it's a solid copy effect, so I threw it in. Genesis Wave. Again, it'd be very, very sad and depressing and unfortunate if I cascaded in a Genesis Wave, because it would do absolutely freaking nothing. But all I really need to do is do it for 10 total. I mean, as long as I hit 7 for X, I'm going to hit everything in my deck that I want. Literally. So I thought that was kind of nice. So instead of, you know, Genesis Wave for 20, Genesis Wave for 15, I only need to do Genesis Wave for 7. It's not a big deal, very easy. Spelljack. I actually got this idea from the Star City Games player. David McDarby runs Spelljack in his Maelstrom Wanderer deck that he made, and explained that, you know, even if I do cascade into this off Maelstrom Wanderer, I can target Maelstrom Wanderer and then recast it for free, as though I were just casting it, and then get 2 more cascades. So I'm pretty much just getting, all in all, an extra cascade. So Spelljack, you know, works for me in any way I need it to. I can top deck it and get a free cascade, or I can cast it and steal somebody's stuff. Blatant Thievery. 7 mana cost for a very group aggressive card. I had to steal 1 permanent from each player. Now, with him, you know, the potential is limitless to steal good stuff, but I have yet to steal something amazing. Anytime I've ever cast it, you know, there might be a few good targets, but other than that, I just get a few little dinky ones. Still fun though, absolutely fun. Knowledge Exploitation. That's another slippery card that if you target the right person, if you're really smart about how you play it, it can really do a lot of work for you. Praetor's Council. This is my only other 8-drop card in the deck. I run this just so I can have no maximum hand size, put all my stuff in my hand. That's the only reason I run it. I like it. It's my personal preference. Control Magic. Now, with my theft stuff, I was thinking this would go good, and it has so far. Even if I get it in my opening hand, it's going to help me early game with some pesky stuff. And if I top deck it off a Cascade with Maelstrom Wanderer, I steal a creature, the creature gains haste with Maelstrom Wanderer. So either way, it's good for me. Mind Control. Now, ideally, this would be a Treachery. Now, I'm on the lookout for a Treachery, so if anybody wants to send me a Treachery, you know, feel free, because I would much appreciate it. But I'm going to replace that with Treachery. it's just much better. It untaps my land, so it's like steal a creature for free. But it's just like control magic. It's good earlier in the game, and it's good to top deck off Cascade. Bear Umbra. Again, this can be one of those cards that's kind of a dud in a way if I Cascade, because Maelstrom Wanderer is not in play. You know, Cascade triggers first, so hopefully I have something that I can Cascade into it, or I can choose not to play it. I mean, ideally I'd want to play it, and if I do, it's going to give me an extra untap phase, which is awesome. You know, that Totem Armor is good too. It's a fun card. I'm kind of partial to Bear Umbra, but other than that, I could probably replace it with something better like Tooth and Nail. And that is every damn thing. So, if you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, ideas, please shoot them my way. Maelstrom Wanderer, ladies and gentlemen.